Hi, fellow traders. I hope you guys are enjoying your holiday season. I know this is my favorite time of the year, the time between Thanksgiving and New Year's. Um, it's everybody in my household. It's our favorite time of the year. So you may hear a lot of moving around and all of that. A lot of the reason why I don't get to do a whole lot of videos is because we're doing things. And just don't have time to sit down, or there's so much activity going on, it doesn't make sense. But I hope you guys are enjoying it and you're living it up. One thing I've got for you today, I want you to understand that the test is never over. I know in life, a lot of us, we live to get through each challenge, to pass each test, and we think that we're done. It happens in trading, but how many times have we thought that we weathered the storm, that we stuck it out to the end, that we passed life's tests, and before you know it, we're being tested again. It's just a constant thing. I think about back when I was playing basketball, our coach would tell us, okay, we do 50 laps. But if we set the pace and we're just kind of jogging along and we're not going after it, and we're just trying to make it to that 50th lap, and then he turns around and says, okay, you didn't put anything into that, give me 50 more. And what he would do is he would look at all of us, and the ones that would drop our head, that would cry, bitch, moan, and complain, those are the ones that he knew he can't depend on in the game, because the minute adversity hit them, they're going to fold up like an envelope. And this was something that he did. And this guy was an incredible coach. And he was able to read his players like that. And that's why he was able to get the best out and was able to put the best teams on the floor. And that happens to us in trading. When we come in and we learn a strategy and we get our process down and we have a good week, a good 2 weeks, and then we start struggling, the market is testing us again. It's putting us through the same test that we had when we first started, and we first started learning, and we first started growing. If we hang our head, if we get depressed, if we get down, if we say the market is rigged and this doesn't work and this is a BS strategy, then trading is going to beat you. Okay, and the best thing for you to do is quit before you lose everything. I mean, that's the God's honest truth. But if you accept the fact that this market is going to test you through and through, you may go a couple of days, a couple of weeks without being tested, but when it expect it, because it's going to come. All right, so just know this test is never over. All right, so when we look at the market, we had a nice gap up day on Tuesday, and we pretty much traded sideways. And that's pretty much what's happened to the swing trades. If you got in a swing on Monday, you woke up Tuesday morning jumping for joy, especially you guys that got Apple. Apple was on our swing list, but that first day, you were extremely happy. And then all of a sudden, it stopped. And it's just been trading sideways. You see the swing trade that I took, I got in on Tuesday, and it's been flat the last 3 days. But that's just the way that the market is. The market's not weak. It did show signs of kind of resting today, but it's still strong. I mean, look, it's still holding the 5-day moving average. This is the most aggressive sentiment we could use in the market. And I mean, look at it. It's trending up. It's a rising support on the 5-day. We're still above it. So the market is still strong. It's just that it's just been trading sideways, and it hasn't really broken out yet. So let's look at, you can see Apple here. This is what I was talking about. Look at the big gap up on Apple. It's been hitting the top for the last couple of days. 123, 122, 123, 122. It's not really going anywhere, but it's not weak. You're still making higher lows. The 5-day is still rising. The 20-day is still rising. So everything is still showing strength. Can it get up to this level here? I'm pretty sure it can. It may get there tomorrow. The market looks like it's holding here in the aftermarket. So, looks like it'll be strong. This is the stock that I took. This was the swing trade I got in on Tuesday. Hasn't done a damn thing. It's just been going sideways. It goes up. I'll be up during the day, then it comes back. Yesterday was a hiccup day. It pulled back to the 20 and then bounced. Today, another inside day. It's just not doing anything. But whatever happens tomorrow, I'll probably take it off, more than likely. I'll make that decision toward the end of the day. But, I'm not, again, I don't trust this market over the weekend. I just don't right now. So there's just too many moving parts, too many things that could happen over the weekend that could change how we open up on Monday. And I don't really want to risk it that much. But again, we're just trading sideways. We need it to break out. If we can break out tomorrow, make a run up to 370-ish, we should end the week pretty strong. All right, so today we took CRWD. This was the opening trade. I know CRWD was gapped up pretty big pre-market. It was already up, but just because a stock has moved up a ton doesn't mean it can't keep going. I used to have that limited mindset, and I missed out on a lot of solid trades. So I don't have that mindset anymore. If the chart has the window of opportunity, I don't care how much it's up. I'm going to be there to take advantage of it, because the opening range is just a big volatile move. This thing could have run right up to 165, 166, and then pull back and start selling off all day. That's fine. I would have caught the move I was looking for. But here, I had to wait. I couldn't take it right at the break because we had this pre-market level right here. It was too close. If the pre-market level was, say, up here, I definitely would have taken it on the break, and that would have been my first profit point. But I had to wait. I got in over it, got one target hit before it pulled back and stopped me out at break even. This is kind of the way the market was today on most of the tickers, not all, but most of them were pretty choppy. And you can see I tried this again. Once we broke over the high, broke over the channel, I waited for confirmation because this was a choppy day. I waited for confirmation. Now, I don't always do this. It depends on the situation, whether I'm going to wait for confirmation or whether I'm going to buy on the break of the channel. So because it was really choppy today, I waited on the break. I got in, perfect entry, but it just failed. It could not push and ended up having to take it off. And you could see the rest of the day, it pretty much traded inside that channel. It traded inside the macro channel it put in today. So wasn't much there. And I kind of waited and waited and waited. But the big miss of the day was ZS. ZS was on our watch list. This was up pretty big too. And I had this on my screen when it was breaking the 5 minute. But I overanalyzed this. I shouldn't look at the 60-minute chart for the opening range trades because momentum breaks out and it breaks through levels that first 10, 15 minutes. I use the 60-minute chart for the secondary trades to make sure that there's a window of opportunity. So I kind of overanalyzed this, and because, I'll show you what I'm talking about. I overanalyzed this. Here's the first candle of the day. This is a 60-minute chart. You can see, pre-market, we had the huge run. It was running into the upper linear regression line. And typically, this is where it reverses throughout the day. Like right here, you see where it hit it and it kind of pulled back. It acts as resistance. The first 5 minutes, really you shouldn't be doing that. I shouldn't have looked at it. It kept me from getting in the trade. And it was a very lucrative trade. This was the trade of the day right here. The trade of the day. It never pulled back, never set a channel for us to be able to get in. It didn't really set a channel until here. And again, the rest of the day, it just basically traded inside of it. So there were no other trades for me to get in here. But this was a beautiful trade. So I was asked earlier, why did I choose CRWD over ZS? And I didn't choose one over the other. I just overanalyzed this, tried to define the risk out of the trade, which you can't do. That will prevent you from trading and ever making money. And I just messed up on it. And once I stopped looking at this, CRWD was the next one that was looking like it was going to make something. And I ended up taking it. And that's all it was. So after market, we wait around, see if we can get some secondary trades on earnings. I'm not playing the guessing game. I'm waiting for the stock to tell me what it's going to do. If I can't get a good feel for pre-earnings trades, I just wait for it to announce and then trade the secondary move. So I was actually looking for this to pull back to the 9, pull back to support, and then bounce. It pulled back a little bit, but it didn't give me a full pullback, so I wasn't going to get in. It was still too far extended on this primary move. So you can see it never did push up. That's why I didn't take it. Now, as it came back, we took out the low of where it pulled back, and I didn't want to take it at this point. I wanted to wait. It just seemed like it wasn't enough in it for me to get from the 9 to the 20. So I waited for it to lose the 20, and I got in it, and it just washed out really quick. It was a really quick wash, and that's why I kind of missed the cover here. I was able to get it here. I missed this because it was down, and it came back so fast, I actually missed it. And then you can see it just kind of flatlined here. I ended up having to take the rest off. I missed it by a few cents, break even, but it didn't really hurt. So still ended the day green. Didn't get the big move like I was looking for out of this. I was really looking for it to pull back and scream up to around 250. But it didn't. Had to trade what it gave me, and that was that. So, still ended the day green. It was a pretty rough day on a lot of the names that we were watching. I did do the recap this morning If you were still in chat, I did the midday recap like I told you I was going to be doing. Next week, I'll look at putting them on YouTube in the middle of the day. But today and tomorrow, just kind of giving some dry runs so I can, make sure I have everything I need and how I want to do it. But I'll start putting the pre-market, the midday ones up on YouTube here next week. And that's when I go over all of the stocks on the watch list. So, the swing trade. This is the one we got in Tuesday. You can see it hasn't done a damn thing. Nothing. Not a thing. Maybe at the most 3 or 4 points in intraday, and then it pulls back. I was actually looking for 120 for my first profit target, but tomorrow, if it hits 115, I'm gonna take 2/3 off, and if it doesn't do anything the rest of the day, I'm gonna kill it. I know the chart still looks good, everything still looks in order, but I'm not feeling the market, holding them over the weekend. But then again, we'll see what the market tells me tomorrow. But that's going to do it. So you guys have a great night. Enjoy it. And we'll come back tomorrow, see if we can close this week strong and get ready to enjoy this weekend.